Russia's war against Ukraine has been on for 5 years now. A growing number of Cameroonians have been joining on the Russian side, not because they are against Ukraine and not because they love Russia, but because of the difficult economic situation at home. One of them was Onana Moise, who died on the front lines fighting for Russia. Investigations reveal nearly 100 Cameroonian men have died in Ukraine.
Cameroonians are more than a third of all Africans who have gone to fight for Russia and Ukraine.
While some are driven to the front lines due to unemployment, others are staying at home and sounding the alarm.
In our country, we know it is difficult. But young Cameroonians must understand that it is better to be in that condition than to adventure in a deadly travel that you don't even know what is going to come out from.
This is Douala, Cameroon's economic capital and home to nearly 5 million people. It was home to Onana Moise. 39 years old, he was a husband and father, working for a company in the city. Like most young Cameroonians, he wanted a better life. Onana had planned to leave his job and travel to South Africa, where he'd received another job offer. However, a travel agent identified by his family only as Harrison convinced him that he would get a better job in Russia. His mother, Mama Regine, was against the idea from the very start. Regine's final conversation with her son was in December 2024.
Il me manque beaucoup. Je n'arrive même pas à penser parce que les gens me disent d'enlever un peu la tête sur ça.
Already in her 60s, she has a medical condition which requires regular follow-up. Her son Onana was her main source of financial support.
Je manque d'abord que c'est mon fils. Parce que j'étais quand je suis comme ça là, je vois comment il vient pour venir me rendre visite. Peut-être comme moi, je suis hyper tendue. Si j'ai même mes remèdes à payer, il me paye. Je dois dépenser chaque mois 8 000 francs pour payer les remèdes. Donc, il me paye mes remèdes. Il me manque beaucoup.
A team of international journalists has identified 95 Cameroonian men who died on the front lines fighting for Russia. Our own investigations identified 5 of these men whose funerals have since been held in their villages in Cameroon. One of them was a close friend to Kosho Louis. Kosho has always been against Cameroonians leaving their country to join a foreign army.
In our country, we know it is difficult. But young Cameroonians must understand that it is better to be in that condition than to adventure in a deadly travel that you don't even know what is going to come out from. In Russia, it is often said that there is a contract that you are going to sign. But you are going to fight a battle against the unknown. You are fighting against drones and missiles. This is not your country.
We found a similar pattern in the stories of all 5 men who died in Russia, including Onana Moise. They all had to borrow money, millions of francs CFA, in order to travel. But now, their families are left with more questions than answers and a mountain of debt to repay. Onana Moise's wife equally borrowed some money to support his trip, adding to what Regine already gave him.
Beaucoup d'argent jusqu'à sa femme a même encore les dettes de ça à la Réunion. Si je te dis que moi-même, j'avais donné 500 000 et je ne connais pas combien ils avaient, parce que même aussi à la Réunion, sa femme avait prêté 500 000 et lui-même avait aussi ses économies. Oui, ça peut faire presque peut-être même 2 ou 3 millions. Le premier jour, quand il est parti, après où c'était une semaine, je rentrais du travail, mon téléphone a sonné, je n'avais même pas encore ouvert la porte. J'ai pris, il me dit qu'il a envoyé l'argent, il a envoyé où c'est 1 million comme ça, que sa femme paie d'abord les dettes.
There have been concerns about Cameroonians joining the war. But is this the first foreign war in which Cameroonians have fought?
It's not the first war that Cameroonians are fighting in, which is not the Cameroonian war. I must tell you this anecdote. This area has a symbolism for my family. At the Botawaf, which is of course the same sea of the Ambas Bay, my father's uncle in the 1940s sailed from here to fight for Britain in the Second World War. And we never saw him again. Well, not me, I wasn't born, my father was a child. The family never saw him again. So it is not new for people they're often called mercenaries, to go fight a war that is not theirs for different reasons. Motivation to get nationality, motivation for money, motivation to get jobs, to integrate the system of the country they are going to defend. So there are many reasons.
While several other nationalities are joining the Russia-Ukraine war, Cameroonians are the largest number of any African country involved in the war on Russia's side.
Over nearly 350 Cameroonians have been conscripted, either volunteered or joined other ways, out of less than 1,500. So Cameroonians are more than a third of all Africans who have gone to fight for Russia and Ukraine. That should tell you something. Nobody leaves a comfort zone. You only go where even plunging into danger, when behind you it's worse. So that tells you that Cameroonians don't feel at home. Young people with skills, young people with certificates, degrees at all levels, not only do they not have jobs, and you will say, why can't they create jobs? When they can create jobs, the environment is not enabling in terms of policy, in terms of taxes, in terms of state harassment, police harassment, taxation harassment, all kinds of things. So there is no hope for a certain segment of our youth. And they think it's better to go look for greener pastures or to plunge into the unknown elsewhere than to remain here where all hope is lost.
Regine told us that when Onana Moise mentioned traveling to Russia, he assured her that he was not going to join the war there, but simply to look for work. However, it seems that he was deceived into fighting for Russia because no one knows how he ended up on the front lines, rifle in hand and wearing full military attire, even though he was not a soldier in Cameroon. The story of Dyieng Bryce, another Cameroonian man who also died on the front lines, is similar to Onana's. Dyieng left Cameroon on a study visa, but ended up on the front lines in Ukraine, where he was killed. The cases of these two men suggest that at least some Cameroonians are lured or deceived into joining the Russian army through an elaborate scheme.